Anthony Ramirez, also known as Firechild, isn't just a model, he's a force. With campaigns under his belt for brands like NBA, Chic, Vans, and more, he's already building an impressive portfolio. Young, ambitious, and driven, Anthony brings more than just presence in front of the camera, he brings strategy. What sets him apart is his intellectual approach to modeling. He's not just striking a pose. He's thinking critically about what hasn't been done, what no one else has dared to do, and how he can help brands stand out in an industry where originality is rare and longevity is everything. I had the chance to sit down with Anthony to talk about the realities of the modeling world, from booking gigs and maintaining physical discipline to carving out your identity in a fast-paced, high-pressure space.
So let's just, I want to first get to know you.
Right.
So how did you get started in
Oh,
the
wow.
modeling industry?
Yeah,
What
it's
made you
like,
interested in doing it?
man. Well, at first, I had a good friend who had a clothing brand, and I was just helping him on set, and it wasn't really anything that I was gonna get involved in.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the models called out and just canceled last minute. So he's like, "Do you mind just like throwing this on for me, and let's just see what happens?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's cool." And we ended up getting it done. I was super nervous. I yacked in the bathroom before I came out to shoot because I've never shot at all. I think the only experience I had with pictures was like my graduation pictures. Yeah, from high school.
So when was this? When did it
This
happen?
was 2018. Yeah, 2018. But then I stopped for a little bit to focus on school
Mm-hmm.
and do that because I do behavioral therapy with autistic children. So that's what I do for 9 to 5. Yeah, I know it's heavy. And then
Yeah.
I come here, I work with whoever books me. But yeah, it's been a long journey because I did stop, and I would say 2022, I went through a couple of life things, so I needed a creative outlet, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna try modeling, and I couldn't get signed for agency from my life. I was just like, I had no idea what I was doing,
Right.
but I had like good people behind me. I had a friend who had forgot what kind of Nikon camera it was. It was like $20 that we found an offer of. And I told him that I'll pay him $20 to take my pictures like every other day, like as if we're getting booked. But we weren't getting booked. But everybody thought we were though, so that was good. But
Yeah.
so
Fake it till you make it.
exactly, yeah. So and I wanted to try to do my best to find a way to provide for my family because, yeah, where I live is just not the best.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just leaving it all in God's hands, and I'm just happy to be here.
So you said that you're doing a 9 to 5. You're a behavioral therapist for special kids.
Right. So I do in school, and then after that, I clock out of there and do in home, and I end my day at like 8, so it's 8:30 to 8 o'clock at night.
So that's like, so you're actually into 3 jobs: modeling,
Right.
after work, and your 9 to 5.
Right. Yeah, 3 jobs. I know when I tell people that, they're like, "How?" I don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
just do modeling full time. And it's just like I'd love to, but there's like steps you have to take, and there's tiers to this. So I like to respect my profession and know that I still have to put in my due diligence and have to work just like everybody else did. Bella Hadid, Gigi Hadid, Naomi Campbell, models like Evan Mock. We're gonna go males, Alta Mason. So I'm just trying to have my name in those conversations. But I'm just really blessed to have a manager that I do have that understands that and really makes way for me to do all these things. And I mean, yeah, I do things like call off and probably reschedule, but I prioritize my dream over anything because our 9 to 5s will always be here tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said that one of the things that you are very particular about, or your priorities, is providing for your family. Are you the eldest? What?
I'm the oldest, yes, out of 4.
Wow.
4,
Okay,
yeah.
and is it what does your parents do?
My dad's a correctional officer for the city Federal Bureau of Prison in Long Beach. I forgot which one. And my mom is a stay-at-home mom because my brother has twins, and she's like really good with that type of stuff, and he's not. So she stays home and takes care of them, and I help as well and make sure that everything runs smoothly when I am home, because I'm barely home. But I mean, I try to do my best to play a good part to where they don't have to feel in need.
Okay, so the help that you provide is financial? What is it?
Financial, helping around the house, babysitting, making sure that my brother's mental health is okay, making sure everybody else is okay. But overall, just trying to lead by example with what I do, because my family's not really, they're not creative. That's not really their thing. It's more like high school, college,
Get a job.
get a job, yeah, things like that. But my thing first was basketball, so I wanted to play basketball really, really bad. So I
Okay.
made it to college, and I played at a college called Shady College. But when that didn't work, I just had to find something else. And even they didn't want me to put all my eggs in one basket with playing basketball, but with this, it just feels so right that why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you played collegiate basketball.
Right.
Your college was under scholarship. Is that-
No, it wasn't. I was a walk-on. Yeah, I was too short. They wanted me to be like 6'2", 6'3" as a guard, and I'm 5'11". So they're like, yeah, well, you're kind of going to have to prove yourself. Sorry, but not sorry. And then you have kids coming from like Europe, and you have kids coming from China and things like that to come play for the school, and you're just like, whoever shoots the ball better, I guess.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
No, I've heard about the height thing.
Oh, yeah. it's
Like you have to be at
ridiculous.
least 6'2".
Yeah, or extremely gifted, like Allen Iverson.
But don't be Island Iverson.
Yeah, we're not going to be Allen Iverson financially.
But what's the name of the 5'6" guy?
Muggsy Bogues. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's
He's like
possible.
my favorite actor in Space Jam. Love Space Jam.
So it is possible.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Yeah.
Very possible.
Okay. So all right. So you said that you went through some life stuff. Is it
Yeah.
personal? Is it
It's like little breakup stuff, little things that made me have to self-reflect, because I would consider myself like a lover boy. Like that's just how I am. So I get a little too invested, and I learned my lesson at that time. So, and it was just that, and like moving, getting evicted from our first family home that we were renting. Not that we couldn't afford it, but just because of personal reasons on the owner's end, and just handed us a paper saying we had to get out. So I just wanted to do something where I never had to feel that way again.
okay?
And one thing I did learn is make enough money so you can get out of situations you don't want to be in.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But heartaches are good for an artist.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. And I feel like for me, it's done so much development, and so much, like, even with my face or taking care of myself, going to the gym and things like that. I honestly give it to that, because I wouldn't know what I'd be doing if I wasn't trying to better myself.
Right.
It's just, I think it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's actually, now that you've mentioned it, a huge part of what you do is your physical look. That's
Right.
like probably 70% of the job
Right,
relies on that. So
right.
you do have to take care of yourself.
Of
Before
course.
we get into the deep stuff, so
Right.
how do you take care of yourself? Like, do you have a
Man.
beauty regimen? You go to the gym?
I try. I mean, I'm pretty bad at that stuff. I don't really have a skincare routine, and
You have to start.
I swear. And people are like, you have to have one. Like, you have good skin. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, water, soap, maybe Neutrogena. We don't want to give any free promo, but yeah. So things like that, and yeah, going to the gym a lot. Cause beginning of this year, I was 123 pounds. And now I'm standing like 152, 153.
But you're 5'11". Come
Yeah,
on.
I know, right? Exactly. And I just like, I see these models that I would want to like alter my body to look like that. And great thing about my management is he can always remind me and always like try to instill in me that comparison is just nothing.
Right.
Like, just do what you got to do for yourself and see what the product is and what the result is.
So what are you trying to do? Gain muscles? Is that what you're trying to do?
My personal goal is 180 pounds, 10% body fat. Yeah, completely shredded. So we're gonna see how we get there, but one tuna, chicken, and rice plate at a time, and a lot of creatine and water.
But that also takes a lot of time. If for
Oh,
you to
yeah.
get to that, you need to spend a lot of time in the gym if you have 3 jobs.
Yeah, almost like, so when I get done with all this, I'll go like at 11:30 at night, all the way to probably 1 a.m. And that's like the times I feel where it's more me. I feel like myself more at that time. Because
Okay.
I'm quiet to myself, by myself. I'm able to hear my thoughts, opposed to hearing opinions, managers, supervisors, casting directors, photographers, whatever it may be that day. But I just love to be. Like, I love nature and love like quiet and stillness. So I feel like the gym is a great place. You throw in your headphones and it just gets quiet in your own way.
So if you're there until 1 o'clock, what time do you actually sleep?
Around 2 a.m.
And
2
then
a.m.
you're off to your work at what time?
At 8:30. So it's like 6 hours roughly. No, it's pretty bad.
You need a
Yeah, it's
lot of
bad.
sleep to be
Yeah,
able to
and my
take care
manager
of
tells
your.
me the same thing all the time. Like, you need to sleep. You need
Yeah.
like it's good for your face.
Yeah, almost every model that I've female models that
Mm-hmm.
I've interviewed has this 9-step beauty regimen.
Really, nine
Yeah,
steps.
9-step beauty regimen at night.
Wow.
And most of them started when they were like 16, 17. I don't know if it's necessary to start that
Yeah,
early,
I think it's pretty
but
young.
they look good.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I want to eventually be that way too, like the way Pharrell is. Like Pharrell doesn't age, so I want to eventually, like, hopefully I can get to that. Because right now I'm 25, and people think I'm like 16, 17 years old, and I love
you
that.
look very young.
Yeah, I love that because it's just water, a lot of water, a lot of green tea. I learned green tea as well, helps a lot. But I need to come up with that regimen too, because there's times where
9
it
steps.
does. Yeah, and I need 12 steps probably. But yeah, especially with like some eye cream and all that stuff. But no, yeah, a lot of my sisters like do that stuff, and I'll like pick like what a gua sha is. Like, I don't know if you know what a gua sha. Do you know what a gua sha is? A gua sha is like it's like a stone, and it's like helps with your facial
Oh yeah, yeah,
features.
they lift it.
Yeah,
right,
and you
right,
drag
right,
it up. Yeah, and
right,
I seen that. I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, it's a gua sha. I'm like, a what? A gua what? And she was like, yeah, it's for your facial structure. And I thought I had pretty good facial structure back then, and then I used it, and now like it really helped me out, and I use it daily. But I think that's the only thing I can really say that I'm committed to is a gua sha and a bottle of water and some I don't know, some scrub maybe.
So if you go to a Korean beauty store, they're gonna give
Right.
you like a day regimen and an evening regimen
I
for you
need
to follow.
day, evening,
Day
and
and
night.
night.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, I'll take it all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love walking into Sephora until they have a men's department now, and I didn't know that. And I was seeing like the different moisturizers, and I'm getting like FOMO, fear of missing out, just by like looking at all these crazy things. And my manager was introducing me to some of these things where it's like it's called like, it's like a patch but of soap, and you get it wet, and it's like portable soap, and you can like wash your face with it. I'm like, that's so much easier than having to bring around a big bottle. And sometimes when you're flying, it doesn't go through TSA, things like that, and they think it's a crazy bomb or contraption. I don't know. I can't even tell you how much face soap, conditioner, shampoo I've got collected at TSA. And I try to like even put it in plastic bags, and that was even worse.
Worse, yeah.
So much worse.
But the good thing about going to a Korean beauty store, not that I'm promoting it because I'm Asian, but
no,
is that
yeah.
they will actually give you samples.
Really?
So you have
I don't do that
samples,
at
you try
Sephora.
it on. If it works, then you go back and buy it.
Really? That's crazy. Yeah, usually you buy stuff at Sephora, you don't like it, then you return it. And then you get something else. That's from my previous experiences been
Yeah.
with people that I go see
Yeah.
shop at Sephora.
Okay. So now in the deeper stuff.
Yes,
So there's
ma'am.
a lot of physical thing that you need to do to maintain that look
Mm-hmm.
for how you look because that's your currency.
Right.
So then how do you separate that from your personality?
That's yeah, for a while too, where both the ego of Firechild and Anthony Ramirez were like attached a lot, especially when people started calling me that by name. And Firechild is someone that I like to consider is someone who is on fire when they're on set. They have dying passion, and they know what they're doing, and they're not second guessing anything. And they're completely wholeheartedly committed to the craft. Anthony Ramirez is more so of a sweetheart. He loves people. He loves talking with people. He loves helping people. Firechild is not like that. Firechild is considered in helping himself at that time, but it's always so good to be able to help yourself first so you can be better to help those that you love afterwards. But I would say my faith in God is what definitely separated me from that. And knowing that, okay, well, I can clock into this Firechild person maybe 1 hour, 2 hours for a shoot, and getting out wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, because that's where the people always ask me what I do after shoots and stuff like that. And I love being in Studio City. This is like my whole heart. I love being here. It's just I fell in love with the city in Hollywood. I love going to the Studio City Outlook. And I just like to sit there and just thank God for everything that he's given me, because it could have, like my manager said, there's thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of models, especially here in LA. And now everybody considers themselves with the Instagram a model, which is cool. Just like when you put that label, you have to put the work behind that label. But it was definitely people around me, a couple people, not too many, like 2 people. And one of them being, her name's Ryan Rose, which is like one of my best friends. And she always reminds me that, your love for God is what made you, is what brought you here. So you're going to have to hone in on that, and you're going to have to base your whole foundation in life off of that. And if Firechild can't get on board, then it has to go. So my thing is, okay, I'm going to be this person on set, because I can't be Anthony Ramirez on set. I'm too nervous,
Right.
and I get too fidgety, and I get too stimmy-ish, but it helps me be able to lock in. But it's definitely a good thing to be able to separate, because some people can't do that.
Right, right. Whose idea was it to create Firechild?
In 2021, that's when I was going through a lot, and I had my first, like, not attempt, but first, like, thoughts of suicide, because based off the things I was going through. And I always saw that as the easy way out, and for me personally. And I know everybody struggles day in and day out with that, and that I'm not referring to that. It's just with people who just find the way to not be better, and I've seen it. So I've wanted to create a version of myself that was so passionate about something that it's on fire and it can never be put out. And I'm God's child, and I know I want to stay young forever, so I want to be Firechild and be passionately positive and forward moving every single time that I'm able to either talk to someone when I am that person, or being able to inspire them, because I was once that model that had no idea what to do. Sometimes I still have no idea what to do, and that's okay. I like that, because it gives me time to learn, gives me time to grow, gives me time to inspire people, even inspire myself, if that sounds weird, I don't know. But it, like, just to see yourself from point A to point B.
So it was your idea to create it, and you've created it back in 2020. Okay. So from then to now, how did you find Right Hands Management?
Oh wow, I love this story. So I actually gave up modeling at that time. He found he found me. No, I had a runway coach named KG. Love you, KG, if you're listening. I love you. But he was developing me at first, just as like runway, and I had stopped. I was like, you know what, this isn't really like going anywhere for me. And this was in July, and no, June, and I was like, this is not going nowhere for me. I'm like, I'm just gonna stop. And I was at my 9 to 5 actually, and he sent me a casting, and he was like, hey man, there's this like billboard opportunity for you. It's a really cool clothing brand. I don't know if you want to do it, but just submit, see what happens. And then probably like, I'll say an hour after that, submitted. And then around probably 11 o'clock at night that night, I got like an email back. And I remember I was with my friend Ryan, and I was just like, oh my gosh, look, like I just got booked for something, because I wasn't getting booked like that before, or at all. I wasn't getting booked at all. And he just let me know, hey, be here, don't be late, this and that and the other. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I get there and I meet this guy, and I'm like, oh, he seems pretty cool. Like, he found me out in the parking lot. So now I know that I can't, like, I'm not going to have bad parking, or I'm not going to get a ticket or get towed, because his car's right here too. And yeah, I went inside. The energy was amazing. And we shot, and I was a mess. I was like frantic, running back and forth, changing, kind of like sweating a little bit on like the forehead area. And he like, hey man, you got to take care of that. I was like, okay, my bad. And he helped me slow down, talk to me a little bit, let me know, hey, you're a good model. I don't know you like that, but you seem like you know what you're doing. Like, it's all good. We shot. It came out amazing. And ever since then, I low-key been on the run. And I wasn't really taking anybody's calls, or really like trying to sign with no one at that time, because I was like, okay, this is a one-time thing. Like, I know that there's plenty of people who are going to book crazy jobs, and I'm not living in LA. So for me, that was a huge factor that I didn't stay out here. And he was just consistent with messages, consistent with supporting me on my social media as well, even though I wasn't doing anything crazy. He just kept showing endless support. And if anybody can be like that in your corner and you haven't even signed to them, I'm thinking that is like a million green flags. So yeah, and then I found him, and I wanted to prove to him, actually, because I didn't think I was that good. I didn't think I was that good at all. And it was after 4th of July. Life was okay at that time. But after that, I was sitting at my 9 to 5 again, and I look at my phone, and it's someone that I texted 2 years ago, a casting director for Nike. And she was like, hey, I don't know if this is like the same person, but my name is this and that, and I want to work with you. I didn't see these messages, but I would love for you to come in and do a shoot. I had no idea what it was for. I had no idea. So the next day, went in, did that, and was completely shocked. Like, I cried after that. I definitely cried, because it was just like, it's a long time coming where things like this start to happen. And the next week it was Puma, and the next week after that it was Billionaire Boys Club, and it just never stopped. And then before the Dodgers went to the World Series, I did the Dodgers and modeled their stuff, and that's when I knew, like, okay, maybe this is for me, maybe this is something. And he was there throughout the whole entire journey and seen everything. And after, I would say, that shoot, he signed some paperwork and got some stuff done. But it's been a long time. It's been almost a year that we've been in contact, but I've just didn't sign. But when I did, it's the dream come true.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be anywhere else besides right hands management. Yeah.
You're making him smile.
Oh no.
He is a great guy. He sounds like a great guy.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so they say that you get 100 no's for every one yes,
Right.
before you actually even see any signs of getting big.
Right.
So when you were getting all of those no's, did you eventually felt like it, like you knew why you were getting the no? Like
Yeah.
you weren't ready, you were doing something wrong. What was
Right.
it that you think?
I think it was more of my confidence and more of my presence. I wasn't Firechild at that time. I was like
Okay.
Anthony Ramirez when I started modeling, and I just oozed nervousness, like anxiousness, and people can see that by my posture, and they can automatically tell. Like, I have one story that's pretty funny. I had landed my first runway show by myself called Indie Fashion LA Fashion Week, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, I was gonna be on Amazon. Like, this is great, and I thought like this is my big break and things like that. So I was super excited, but it was that moment where I was so grateful for that. And someone had told me about another casting associated with the same show. So when I went there, I drove all the way from Rancho Cucamonga down here, Studio City, and met him at his hotel. And he just told me, like, okay, walk. And I walked 10 seconds. It took me an hour and 30 to get here that day, I think. And 10 seconds, he's like, okay, thank you. I'll see you when I see you. And just no information after that. And then go outside and both of my tires are slashed. But yeah. And so it was just added to the stress. And then I had to stay stranded in Studio City for 5 hours until I get the tire changed and everything. But I was just happy with myself that I tried. But I
Right.
definitely knew that it was the confidence level, nervousness level, and how I talk to people. And that was important. So I didn't have any of that. Yeah, not one bit. But thanks to like development over the years, I was able to acquire that and have a good team around me. But yeah, it's been a long time where the development really took more. I would say I'm not even fully developed, but because we can all get better.
Of course.
But just trying to do the best I can one day at a time.
So do you take any kind of classes?
Yeah, I wanted to take acting classes soon, but people like would offer me like runway stuff and things like that. But I met a runway coach through a ex-manager that I had, and I just developed a really good relationship with him, and that was the only like I think skill acquisition area of learning that I had to do for modeling. But posing, I didn't really need help with posing. It was just more confidence than anything. Just like if you know how to move your body, then your mind's gonna follow.
Okay.
And it's just like you're either don't commit. If you're gonna do a pose, don't halfway commit because it's gonna look so weird on camera.
Right.
So if you're gonna do something absolutely crazy, then you just go through with it.
Okay.
But yeah.
What's the craziest thing you were ever asked to do? Well, at least in your books, you think it's crazy in your books.
Craziest thing I was asked to do. I wasn't asked to do it because I'm more like risk taker when it comes to like my poses and like my scenery. For a brand called First Row Denim, I did a shoot with them, and they wanted me to do on the ground stuff, but I was like, what happens if I'm just not on the ground? Like, what if we just like do a bunch of shots where I'm not standing, I'm doing different things in the air, or I'm standing on different things? So I standed on top, what was it? Intersection light. Yeah, that was rough. And even climbing up there was crazy. I have the picture, I can show you.
Isn't that illegal?
Yeah, it's super illegal. Yeah, very illegal. And they wanted to do the shot within, I think, 5 minutes, and then I spent 10 minutes up there. But yeah, here it is.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I got so much attention, and it really did well for me. But I almost fell a couple times.
It's a good thing you didn't get a ticket.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. People were stopping and making sure that I can like finish the shot and everything like that. But the photographer was like, "This is a liability issue." I'm like, "Is this a liability issue or a creative issue? Like, let's just be super creative and worry about liabilities after." And we didn't deal with any liabilities, but definitely getting on top of a street light was the craziest thing I've ever had to. Well, not had to do, but wanted to do, because I'm the one that's usually pushing the boundaries, not really the photographer. But outside of that, craziest thing I've been asked to do was do a nosedive on the grass floor for a Jordan shot, for a shot for Jordan. And I like really messed up my ankle, and I didn't want to mess up the shoes. So like I just fell and it just landed on my head. And I didn't tell the photographer because I didn't want to get like, I didn't want to end set. So I was just like, I'm just going to power through it. And I have the shot right here. My legs are literally in the air because, yeah, people can tell I was falling, but it was so fun. It was so fun, but it was so dangerous. That's the beginning stage of it. I eventually landed on my cabeza.
Oh my God.
I know, but it was worth it. Shooting for Jordan, yeah, I would do it for Jordan again. Yeah, I would dump on my head.
Okay. So then what is it? What's the line you will never cross?
Anything that compromises my belief in my Christianity and God.
Okay.
Anything like hide your cross. And I even have it tattooed on me. Oh, I don't think you could see it. Let me see. I got this just specifically when anybody asked me to take my cross off. I got this piece done, but this is for my nephews. It's just how much I love them, and my unconditional love that I have, for an example, is God. So this is for them. But when anybody asks me to take off my cross, just know I will not be doing that.
Okay.
But it's just because I know where my opportunities came from. I'm so sorry. I'm going to put this back on. I just know where my opportunities came from, and I know that that's the only first form of love that I've ever had. But, yeah, just nothing to disrespect God or my religion in no way, shape, or form, because that's the source of my everything.
Okay. And so if that has it ever happened?
Oh yeah, plenty of times. I got to one set. I don't want to say any names, but I got to one set where they just try to take it off themselves, and I told them not to. And then when I took off my shirt, their eyes popped open, and I asked them if there was a problem with anything that we can work out. And they're like, no, it just seems like we're just gonna have to go through with it or whatever. And it ended up turning out really, really good, and it was a really big project for me. But I was just letting water roll off your back, really. Like, I have selective hearing, so that's like, it's a good thing for me sometimes, because I can go without the negative comments or whatever. Because at the end of the day, yeah, we all have beliefs, and I completely respect A through Z. It's just respect my A, I'll respect your B.
Yeah. Okay. So what about online comments or online indecent proposals? How do you deal with these things? Because you're active on social media.
Yeah, I just most likely, as of late, I just really ignore everything like that, especially with the negative comments, because especially from like where I live in my hometown, is like I'm pretty much one of the only people that does this. So I hear a lot, and it is tough. But I have people around me, like my manager and my family, that really bring me back down to earth and let me know, hey, you're doing this. We just want you to know that your life looked like this a couple years ago. Now it's like this. Like, let's count our blessings opposed to look at the tiny, minuscule things. But anything business related that is erotic, I just forward it to my agent, and he just deals with it. Yeah, so that's how I really handle those situations. But negative comments, yeah, I used to be different with that, but like a couple years back. But now it's just more like, okay, well, let me take your negative comment. I'm going to take some critique out of that negative comment. I'm going to apply it. And if you have something to say after that, then it's just on you.
What do you think is one of the most important critique you've ever gotten that really helped you?
Oh, besides getting more sleep?
Or the 9-step?
Yeah, right. Or the 9-step. Definitely going to the gym and finding things that you like for you and not for other people. And people look at me and think I like going to the club, I like going to parties. I don't like none of that. I honestly hate it. It just gives me social anxiety, and I'm not the type to say that I have that, but when I get around environments like that, it's just not my thing.
Yeah.
But I just really do enjoy the peace and quiet, and just because you don't get a lot of it anymore, especially out here in the city, you don't get it. But I just feel like it's important to be able to be human still, like be able to, like you said before, separate yourself from whatever you do. because I'm a person before I'm a model,
Yeah.
and I'm a person before I'm a therapist or whatever it is. So it's like, what does that person look like? And things like watching basketball or hanging out with friends and going to the gym, maybe swimming. I don't know. I don't like getting my hair wet, but just try to find small things, very small things. And even like my manager teaching me different types of food. And I only like Dave's Hot Chicken, Wingstop, things like that. It's like, no, bro, it's like Indian food. There's all types of stuff that you can try. It's like, okay, cool, let's do that. And just like the simple experience of being around people who want to show you new things, it's just such a good feeling. And it makes this creative space more of a safe space for me when I have people who are like-minded.
So, which have you tried the hottest in the Dave's Chicken one? Like the one that they asked
I had
you
a
to sign
waiver.
up?
Yeah, I signed a waiver. Me and my friend, he's a really amazing model, David Lloyd. We went to Dave's Hot Chicken for the first time, and we had to sign the waiver, but we had like a $200 bet going on that whoever like fold first and whoever drank the milk first. And I definitely folded first. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Yeah, I couldn't do it at all. It was so bad, and it didn't smell the greatest either.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I thought people didn't know that. But yeah, it doesn't smell the best. It tastes good, doesn't smell the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you tried the super spicy Korean ramen?
The one in where it's like the black and red pack, right?
yeah.
I've tried that before. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. I like it for like 3 seconds. Yeah, and then it starts getting really, really bad. And then it's just like I can feel all the spice like right here.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
Yeah, I started questioning all the
Did you
choices.
try it?
Yeah.
How was it for you?
I started questioning my entire existence.
Yeah,
I was like, why am I
see,
doing this to myself?
It's so bad. I don't like it. But I love spicy food, just not like crazy
Not
Scoville
that.
units.
Not that.
Yeah.
Not that. You two should try it too. Okay, so what is your big dream? What's your
Right
big dream?
now, something that I think about a lot is shooting for Calvin. Shooting for Calvin Klein is on the top of my hit list, and people who know me the best always know that I say after I shoot Calvin, I'm gonna be done and I'm never gonna pick up modeling again, which is not true, but it's just my coming to home moment with modeling, because I used to love models like Marky Mark when he was walking the runway when he was a teenager, and he did the Calvin Klein shoots and things like that, and I got really inspired by that. But I just think when you do Calvin Klein, that's the mecca of modeling. Like when people think of models, the first brand they really think of is like Gucci, Gucci, Dior, all that stuff, but Calvin Klein first. So that's something that be a dream come true to do. We're working towards that right now every day, actually. So with every booking, every single job that I do, I try to make sure to do it in a way where I know they're watching, which I know they are, but in a way where it's just like I want to look different, which is why I get on top of intersection lights and crazy things like that, because some models are just cool with literally sitting here with the camera and they think everything's dandy, and it's not, because there's 1,000 other posts like that. Like I've never seen anybody stand on top of a street light. And that's what I told the photographer, and he looked at me crazy, and it's like, because of his reaction made me want to do that even more, because it's so out the blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about beyond modeling? Do you think
Beyond
about
modeling.
it at your own business? Or?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to do a clothing brand based off of Firechild, and that's what I want to usually like extend to, but I'm trying to build all my networking and things like that. But I love fashion. It's like the name of the game for me. It's just everything to me, and I would love to put my all into that one day and be able to help other models, being able to network in that way with other designers. So when I feel like I do work for these designers for that short period of time, I try to build that relationship to where, hey, maybe in 3 years from now, 4 years from now, we can collab on a drop or something like that. And just meeting like the coolest people in the industry and just thinking like, wow, like I can be able to let these people know what I'm doing later, and like they would get on board with it. But I do have respect for designers. I don't want to like completely jump into it, and because it takes a lot, like down to like the Shopify store, the shipping, everything. And it's like being able to categorize things. And as a model, I feel like I'm learning that more and more every day, is how to categorize things. So I'm just setting myself for the future right now with this profession. And then I don't think I'll transition. I think I'll do both. But yeah, just getting that like more of a designer.
Do you see yourself ever having your own family someday?
A lot of people ask me that. I say no. I say no kids. But it's just because of like how bad the world is today.
Okay.
It's just like, if I was 5 years old in today's world, I would just think it would be hopeless. But I love family. Family's everything for me. I do want to be married one day, and I do want to do those things. But with kids, I don't think so. I don't think it's in the cards for me. I'm a little too selfish right now. Just
Well,
right now. But it might change in the future.
right, yeah. Probably.
Yeah, I think
probably.
so.
I interviewed somebody who's been doing some modeling for about 10 years, and the kind of
Wow.
modeling she's doing is like the risky one.
Oh, got
And
it.
then
Okay.
yeah, and then she got into a point where she just started wanting to have a kid.
Yeah, that
Like,
happens.
yeah, she was
That
like, I don't
happens.
know where it came from.
I
That's
think
just
I think LA is so overstimulated. Like people get so overstimulated with being here. I get overstimulated just by sitting in traffic here. It's just like, why is it like this? But I learned today it's not even the people, it's the lights. The lights are so like slow and so weird and choosy, and I'm just like, wow.
I think they tinker with it.
Yeah, I think they do
Yeah,
too. Like they
yeah.
look and they see me and they're like, yeah, we're just gonna keep you here for 10 more minutes. No, not at all. But I just try to be as careful as I can. But I think LA is more where people try to find themselves here. And it's not the place for that. LA is not the place to find yourself.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Where home is the place to find yourself. But you come down here after you're done, you know what you want to do here. You get the job, you get the paycheck, whatever, and you do with it what you will.
Yeah.
But people get bored.
Yeah.
People get very bored.
Yeah.
So when people sporadically want kids or sporadically change their career, it's just like you're kind of just looking for a shaker upper. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
And like I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do the same thing, maybe, but probably I don't know, take up mountain climbing, something like that, but not a kid. Mountain climbing.
I've told several people already that LA is not where you find yourself. That's
Right.
where you create a new self.
There you go. Basically,
another-
yeah, exactly. I couldn't say it better.
Okay, so as a closing though, if you are to give anybody like a young kid a tip on how they can eventually penetrate the modeling industry, what would you tell them?
I would tell that person, be yourself and find one person that you know is going to support you through everything. And I did it, and Ryan Rose was the person for me being here today. And I think that without that support system, I wouldn't be here, because you're right. You are going to hear, I heard like a billion no's, and I was so discouraged, and I didn't want to keep going. I didn't want to sign to an agent because I thought I was going to be a waste of time, and I was going to get shelved because I'm not 6'3". I don't look absolutely crazy. But when I started to figure out, hey, like I'm unique to myself, I want everybody to know that if I can do it, you can do it, because I came from nothing, and then shooting for Nike, whoever, like it was insane. And I come out with an imposter syndrome where it's like I don't feel like I deserve to be here, but it's me doing it. So I just say that just believe in yourself, and as cliche as that sounds, just keep going and take it one day at a time. I don't even plan my weeks out. I just take everything one day at a time. And I learned that when you do that, your mind is less crowded, less anxiousness, anxiety, things like that. And whatever higher power anybody prays to, I would say lean on that as well, because at the end of the day, we are human, and flesh does burn out. So, but a spirit doesn't. But I would just love to say, just keep going, don't stop, and it can happen for you too.
Where is the faith coming from? Is it family? Is the entire family Christian?
Yeah, my father, Juan Carlos, was the one who instilled the Christian faith in me. And I have a little sister named Olivia. I forgot the name of the specific disability, but her whole left side is disabled. And as a child, I've never seen my dad cry. He's the toughest guy I know. I've never seen him cry, but my sister was diagnosed with a very horrible illness at birth, and they pronounced her dead like 3 times. Yeah, 3 times in the hospital. And
After birth.
After birth. Well, like probably like 3 months after that. She just got a random fever of 104, and then everything started going wrong for her body. And when they pronounced her dead, the next, I think it was 10 minutes, her heart monitor started beating again. The EKG just started going off again. And the doctors can't explain it. I don't want to know how to explain it, besides saying that it was all from God. But that's the only proof I need that there is a God, and that my faith should stand tall because he can do things like that. And I hear other people's testimonies about their love for him and what he can do. And if you're telling me that there's a man out there who died for my sins and didn't expect anything in return and is giving me everlasting life, I'll love that person forever and ever and ever till this life, till the next one after that.
Okay. Well, I
Yes,
hope
ma'am.
you keep it.
Of course, every day.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much. You're
Of
so
course.
articulate.
Thank you. I try.
Yeah, you are.
It was
You
so
are.
nice to
Thank
meet
you
you.
so much. Thank,
Thank
you so
you.
much. This is my dog, Debak.
You're the best part of me.
Please follow Anthony on his different social media accounts, which you should be seeing on your screen right now. He is such a lovely kid. I know with his work attitude, with his discipline, how focused he is, how in touch with he is with his identity. I think he's going to go far. So I actually told him and his manager, Karan, that I would want to interview him again in like a year or two because I do want to track his journey. I think he's going to go places. And I'm sure that he's going to be able to give us more insights as he is able to book more jobs, do more things. All right. If you ended up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Also, follow me on X or Twitter and also on my IG. And please be a member of my Patreon community. It's a vibrant community. It's not just about BTS. We talk about different things there. I'll see you there.